We've looked at the best, but what about the worst Premier League home kits ever? Similar to last time, we're going to look at every home kit each Premier League club has worn in the Premier League since it began in 1992, and this time we'll be picking out the worst one. Arsenal 2004-2005. This was not a kit made for champions. The season prior, Arsenal had gone unbeaten and won the title, but the following campaign they looked like right chumps. The Nike template wasn't the best that year, with a yellow goldy line going around the edge of the red chest. Then the back was weird too. The names was in black but the numbers were in white. Horrible stuff, no wonder they lost their unbeaten streak. Bournemouth 2015-16. It was their first Premier League kit and we consider it to be their worst. Made by JD Sports, the Cherries had usual red and black stripes, except there was an inexplicable extra chunk of black on the chest that didn't make Bournemouth look too vibrant in their debut campaign. Fortunately, their away kit made up for it. Brighton 2018-19. With two kits to pick from, we have to name this season's effort as the worst kit, as you pick the other one as the best. Plain and simple, this year's kit is too wide, whereas last year's playing colour was blue. Look, we don't have a lot of kits to pick from here, give us a break. Burnley 2017-18. It may have been a great season for Burnley, but the kit they did it in was awful. As I said, it was at the time when we did a kit review. The weird faded and dotty sleeves that Puma were trying to get over looked horrific, and the kit also suffered because it had light blue shorts rather than white like this year's kit, which is much better. Cardiff 2013-14. Again, Cardiff only have two Premier League kits to choose from, or will they go with the awful red one they wore the first time they went down? Vincent Tan's decision to change the club's kit was a disaster. Messing with the club's history is always a bad idea, and it wasn't even that bad a kit to be honest, just the idea was bad. Chelsea 1992-93. Our first bad kit to come from the 90s, Chelsea started Premier League life not looking too fly. They had that 90s style of rather than using a flat base colour, there was like a pattern to it that sort of basically used the same colour, I don't know how to describe it, but it just wasn't very good. It almost looks like a blue mosaic, maybe? It was very 90s, very bad. Crystal Palace 2016-17. Every year you see clubs trying to do something different with stripes, and that's what the Eagles did in 2016, but they did a very poor job of it. I mean, this was barely even stripes. A chest that was 90% blue, flanked by two stripes of red that sorted out the sleeves. It looked more like a Sunday League kit than something that belongs in the Premier League. Everton 1995-97. Everton kits are normally pretty inoffensive, but this one was bad during the mid-90s. In their second season in this jersey, the Toffees nearly went down, ending the season just 2 points above the drop zone. For some reason a lot of black featured on the kit. Sure, they used to wear black socks in the past, but that just didn't work. Their sponsor was Danka, which was either a family affiliated with a Buddhist temple from Japan or a photocopier company from Florida. That's according to Wikipedia anyway. Fulham 2006-07. We nearly went with the 03-05 kit, but couldn't choose a kit sponsored by Dabs.com as the worst. Then we saw the 06-07 shirt and knew we had a winner. I mean, what's wrong with just a standard white chest? The weird black lines were just, well, that weird, so it's no surprise that no Premier League kits are made by Airnest nowadays. To be fair, I've never even heard of them, apparently they're French. Huddersfield 2017-18. It was their first ever Premier League season and their shirt was awful, but at least they played well in it at times, unlike this season, where actually they've had a nice kit. The Terriers for some reason didn't have block stripes, they were sort of like spotty around the edges, and it ended a poor run of Puma kits for Huddersfield. Leicester City 2003-2004. This jersey was just a bit boring and was rightfully relegated come May 2004. When you've gone from cool looking sponsors such as Walkers and LG to Alliance and Leicester with a little orange square thing next to it, the only way is down. And that's where the Foxes and the terrible kit went. Liverpool 2010-2012. The Reds have a great history of Adidas shirts, but the last one they had wasn't a hit at all. It was a jersey donned by some shocking Liverpool players, including Andy Carroll, Stuart Downing and Charlie Adam. It was also the first time they weren't sponsored by Carlsberg since 1992, which didn't help matters either. Manchester City 2008-2009. Back to the Thomas Cook days for Manchester City, this is the kit they had on when they were famously taken over by Sheikh Mansour. Obviously it wasn't the shirt that brought them to Manchester, it had a weird navy and white streak on either side of the chest, with Lecoq Sportif doing their best to do something different. Sadly for them, it didn't work. Manchester United 2009-2010. The Red Devils toasted the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo with a new shirt, and to be fair, the Portuguese superstar probably would have refused to wear it had he stayed. After a run of strong shirts, Man United tried to make black a bit more prominent, adding a wide black V to the chest across the Nike tick and crest. It wasn't subtle enough, but at least Michael Owen appeared to enjoy it. Newcastle United 2015-16. Another kit held down by the stigma of relegation, this shirt wouldn't be pretty even if Newcastle had finished in the top 4. With the detestable Wonga sponsor, the black stripe for some reason had little blue flashes almost all the way to the top. A bit of blue is okay, but it was all over this shirt and for that reason it suffered. Southampton 2013-14. I googled why did Southampton wear full red kits this season and got no answer. From a traditional standpoint it made no sense. The Saints hadn't long been back in the Premier League, but this was the second season in a row where we hadn't seen red and white stripes. Instead this was full on red with gold sponsor, kit logo and crest. They hadn't even won anything. Tottenham 2015-16. I mean they had a seatbelt on it. What do you expect me to do? I mean there's nothing more to say here, let's move on. Watford 2015-16. This is the 4th kit we've picked from this season, hardly a vintage year. But with the Hornets back in the Premier League, for some unknown reason they decided to celebrate with black and yellow hoops of varying sizes to ensure that everyone knew they were some sort of disfigured bumblebee. West Ham, August to September 2008. This shirt didn't last long, thank goodness. If you're a footballer running around with XL in huge letters on your stomach, it can't be very encouraging, can it? But the Umbro logo was hidden in the top corner, the little collar looked all wrong, it was just a really bad kit. Anyway, we'd have a few incarnations over the season, as sponsorship at the club would change. And finally Wolves 2011-2012. It was a kit that saw Wolves relegated from the Premier League and it certainly wasn't pretty. I don't know why, but the orange shirt had 2 squiggles on it, which looked a bit like when a toddler draws all over the curtains or a wall with a crayon. Unfortunately, performances on the pitch were also childlike. So that's each Premier League club's worst home kit since 1992. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.